data. We've talked about it before, about how the fact that we have a service-based economy, of which 80% of our entire economy is based on. Data is what drives that service section of our economy. Whether you provide a service, whether you keep or hold data, or maybe you even provide some sort of software as a service to another company. All this involves data, and data, as we said, is the gas that makes the engine move in this particular industry. So it is really important that when you look at that 80% of our industry does well over, I think it's like 60% of its business, in fact, I think it might even be more than that, in the EU, then it's pretty damn important that we make sure that we are following their same rules. And so far, when we when we went into the Brexit process, we said that we would keep the GDPR rules. And at the moment, the GDPR rules have become an international standard. And as we've said before, a lot of people have said this before, if we end up changing these rules, because, again, we got a fantastic deal on data, but now Boris Johnson and co seem to be wanting to get rid of these. But this is important regulation. And it's interesting to see how, again, the moderates on the Conservative side that are overwhelmingly in favour of keeping regulation are going to react, because we could see, again, the Tory party is split on this. Will they push forward with this regulation? It's been announced that this is what they want to do. Will they actually go forward and ahead with it? We don't know. As usual, sometimes we've got to sit here and wait, and we just got to stare in horror of the fact that, they've announced this stuff and just gone, oh my God, why are they doing this? What are they doing? So, as always, before I do jump into today's article, please do remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below there is a link to my Patreon page, as well as a one-off donation link called Buy Me a Coffee, where you can always, buy me a coffee. And always, thank you very much to all those people who do support me that way. So, on to today's article. So, this comes from Politico. And the title is, London just got a data deal from the EU, and Boris Johnson could soon scrap it. The United Kingdom has secured a data flows agreement with the European Union, worth billions in annual trade. But will it actually keep it? The agreement was finalised by Brussels last Monday, and this will allow Europeans' personal data to continue to flow to the UK unimpeded, avoiding a cliff edge scenario that might have cost the British economy as much as £1.6 billion. So you can see how important this is. But the UK government is considering diverging from the EU's strict data rules if it means a boost to its digital economy, which could imperil the deal, known as the adequacy decision. And the European Commission decides if a non-EU country data protection rules are up to scratch or adequate. Bluntly, the UK is threatening the adequacy decision even as it is just being put into action, said Jim Killock of the Open Rights Group, a non-profit that has been long critical of the UK's privacy standards and its surveillance powers. The Commission could have pushed for concessions on surveillance in order to ensure that adequacy is less prone to legal challenge. That tension is part of the broader question over Brexit, of should the UK stick to EU rules and benefit from the trade relationship with the bloc, but it be tethered to Brussels, or diverge and carve out a new path and risk billions in trade. A report by the Key Task Force advising the UK government on how to deal with digital issues, now it is free of EU regulation, recommended revising its laws to boost the data brokers industry and make it easier for companies to process data by moving away from the principles of citizens' own data. John Whittingdale, the country's data minister, said last month, "In this dialogue, our undertaking shows that there is a greater prize and that we want to diverge, even if it might put that at risk, then that is something that we certainly would not rule out doing at this stage. For this part, the European Commission has pressured Europe's national regulators and the European Parliament to get the deal done. Not adopting the adequacy decision puts it in a situation where we will have to close trade and security relationship with the UK and would penalise the EU, the Commission told the Parliament in a letter reported by Politico. The opposition to the deal is running pretty high. Privacy campaigners on both sides of the channel fret that the UK is already set on watering down standards, and they have already fallen well short of the mark, and some are already raising funds to challenge the decision. They already feel emboldened by successful challenges to similar data flow deals with the United States, in which the EU judges shot down because they said US snooping powers fell afoul of the EU privacy standards. The European Commission says that it can suspend the deal if the Brits stray too far from the EU's privacy rules, aka the General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR. The EU and the UK have to renew the data sharing agreement in 4 years' time, which allows the EU to reassess the UK's privacy rules and could decide not to renew it. So it will be possible to suspend or just stop to amend that decision, said the EU Justice Chief Delia Rides in a call with reporters on Monday. If there are some changes in the UK against the EU rules and we do not see any real divergence, then it was a very real possible to actually react fast. The Brits' response on Monday after the decision did little to allay these concerns. The government has, quote, promised to minimise burdens on organisations seeking to use data. The appeal on Monday caps off an already fraught process. Both sides have already had to buy themselves extra time to get the deal done, bolting on a temporary 6-month solution to the wider trade deal when the Brexit transition ended in 2020. That stopgap runs out in only a matter of days, and the EU's decision to approve the UK's data regime, first proposed in February of 2021, ran into opposition from the European Network of Privacy Regulators, or the EDPB, as well as the European Parliament. And a UK court ruling against the government's practice of exempting immigrants from being protected by its privacy laws risked the deal at the last minute, and the Commission introduced a workaround for it. Still, the agreement does allow for some flexibility, EU officials said. We do not ask to continue to apply exactly the same system, said Remonards, the EU Justice Commissioner, noting that the countries did not have to copy and paste the GDPR in order to clinch a data flows decision. It is unclear at this moment what kind of changes, if any, the UK will actually make to its data protection rules. For this part, the Commission said it won't respond to any noise about divergence, only to concrete facts. No one should assume that the story ends here, said John Baines, the data protection specialist at a London law firm, Michon de Ria. And he's right. I think this could be disastrous for us. Absolutely disastrous. Because essentially with data and how important that is to a large section of our economy, and we stand to lose about 1.6 billion in, like, if we change or diverge and, like, that gets shut off. And I've mentioned before about the court case called Schleiman's 1 and 2, which effectively put a digital trade barrier in the Atlantic Ocean between the United States and the EU. And that could very well easily now be put between the Channel and us, which, if it does end up going that way, could cost British businesses thousands, if not billions of pounds, and could damage our economy in ways that we just cannot yet predict. But that's the nonsense that is, of course, going on in our government. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do remember to hit that like, share and subscribe button on your way out. And of course, down below there are links to my Patreon page and a one-off donation link called Buy Me a Coffee, where you can always buy me a coffee. And as always, we'll see you all next time.